Loose dogs on the streets of Houston is a problem that city officials at Animal Rescue say is getting worse.
And with an increase in 311 calls for help with roaming or dangerous dogs, we wanted to know what animal control needs to protect people and their pets. KPRC 2's Lisa Hernandez went along with BARC's animal control to see the obstacles they face firsthand.
Well, bring her back in then. Again, she needs to stay in the yard. She needs to stay confined. We are here picking up strays.
Right.
On this ride along with BARC Animal Control Officer Rebecca Glaster, it wasn't long before her truck was completely full, bringing in loose dogs that are called in by people like Irma Lopez, who won't even walk without her stick for fear of being attacked.
People are just becoming dump dogs here.
Máximo unos 4 juntos. Grandes.
And she's not alone. The number of 311 calls to BARC this year is up 7,000 over last year.
We do hear them. They do have a voice. We are working to fix any and every issue they have.
But in a city with a huge stray population, coupled with dogs whose owners allow them to run loose or abandon them altogether, it's impossible, BARC says, to get to everyone.
Currently, we're not answering 42% of our calls due to manpower and lack of resources.
BARC's Deputy Shelter Director over Animal Enforcement, Jared Mears, says BARC has 35 animal control officers to serve a city of more than 2 million. We asked him what he really needs to meet the demand.
A city this size, we need upwards of 100 officers to be able to maintain and answer our calls.
But the city's budget won't allow it. In fact, Houston spends less per capita on animal control than any other major city in Texas, and the comparison is striking. For fiscal year 2024, Houston budgeted $15.6 million for BARC. In Dallas, with 1 million fewer people, $18.3 million. And in San Antonio, $28.5 million was just approved for their animal care services in the wake of a fatal mauling in February. Houston was also the scene of a fatal dog attack that same month. A man was killed in the Greater Inwood neighborhood off Antoine in West Little York when HPD says his neighbor's dogs got through the fence and attacked his dog. He died trying to stop it. Nonprofits pushing for change say something has to be done to enforce existing laws and prevent more attacks.
And if you have a small field team and you are required to go to vast areas of your city, of your community, and you can't get there in time, that is a public safety crisis.
The challenge is, again, we spend about half per capita in Houston as we do in other major cities. So, unfortunately, we haven't prioritize that as a budgetary expense. We're going to have to rely, I think, in part on the community to help police this.
We have multiple traps. Brooke has a trap. I have multiple traps.
Street rescuers say they've been trying to help for years, but the problem's not getting any better.
There's no hope unless there's actual action behind it.
And with federal funds from the American Rescue Plan Act set to run out in Houston by 2026, the city anticipates more cuts to the budget.
I think it's a very difficult situation. There's a lot of public safety need in the city.
We're headed to pick up some mother and some puppies.
For the Houston ACOs who get more calls than they can answer right now, it's tough to imagine an even leaner budget than what they're already dealing with.
The same officer that works Kingwood has to drive all the way from Kingwood to Cashmere Gardens to answer a call. That's his whole entire territory. And we're spread so thin, that a lot of people, they may make a complaint that it took them, an hour and a half, 2 hours to get here. Well, that's the reason. It's not because we don't want to.
Now, the incoming administration will ultimately determine if BARC receives any additional funding. In the meantime, BARC says there are many ways pet owners can help. Make sure your fencing is secure so your animals can't get loose. Have them microchipped. It is the law now in Houston. That way, if they get out, they can get back to you. And spay or neuter your pets. Although better access is still needed, there are low-cost and no-cost options out there. Just search this story on clicktohouston.com for clinics and spay-neuter events near you. Lisa Hernandez, KPRC 2 News.